it's Owen here from OTech, and today I'm just gonna talk about why I chose to go all Noctuas on my fans and my computer. So basically I am Noctuaizing my computer, and so far I've completed it from my intakes to my exhaust in the radiators, and even the GPU VRM fans are all Noctuas. So the only fans you can find in my computers are just Noctuas. So is it worth it? I guess it kinda is worth it to me for a short answer, because I got these at a reviewer's discount, so that's kind of cheating. So they're slightly cheaper than the retail price, the price that I got them, which I got them straight from Noctuas for review, which I did a review, which you can check out. And then I think that these fans are pretty much the best fans you can get out there right now, because my point in choosing these fans is that I need a lot of RPMs, because I don't see the point of people getting low RPM fans, because I always think that if you want low RPMs, then you could just lower the fan. But if you want high RPM, you can't just boost the RPM when you want to, but you kind of need a high RPM fan in the first place. So my thinking was that I want a fast fan, then if I want it quiet, then I can just lower the RPM. So I'm thinking that because I like to overclock and push the limits of my system, which, you know, it hasn't always ended very well, because, well, my CPU died once, the 6850K. This is actually the second 6850K in there. So if you've seen my update video, yeah, that original CPU is not inside anymore. This is the second 6850K inside, because one died, but I think it's really because of the motherboard, not my fault. It set one voltage setting for the VCCSA and VCCIO wrong, and it got too high, and I think it died because of that. Or I just got a dud CPU. But anyways, then I overclocked my GPUs, which are the RX 580s, and those got pretty hot. So anyways, I really like to overclock, and I want high RPM fans, because it really helps when you got a high RPM fan, because it boosts the airflow a lot, and you can really drop down the temps a lot. Compared to like a 1500 RPM, like semi 2000 RPM fan, like the standard LED fans, then those just don't cut it when you overclock, and especially if you overclock it to a limit like mine, like my computer does. So because I got these fast fans now, if I overclock my RX 580s to 1500 megahertz, they barely get to 50 degrees on the water cooler. So I think that's a really great result. And even though, yeah, they're loud at maximum speed, but you can always turn them down, and that's just great. I think then, like right now, you can't even hear it, and it's running. So I think that that's the good thing of having a high RPM fan, and especially a high quality one, because Noctua fans, if you notice that some fans, the RPM to PWM curve isn't exactly linear. So sometimes if you want to lower the RPM, you kind of get a sudden drop in RPM at a certain PWM percentage. So that's not good, because you can't really control the fan RPM precisely. But for Noctuas, it's basically linear. So from 0 to 100%, it goes up in RPM slowly, and it even stops at 0 RPM, which is pretty cool, because like some other PWM fans, well, actually most of them, like the Corsair ones that I have, the SP120s, they don't stop at 0 RPM, they just slow down to about 600 RPM, but these Noctuas, they stop. So I think that's amazing. That's pretty useful, because sometimes you just want to stop the fan. Like sometimes I stop the GPU fan or the intake fan when it doesn't really even need it, so it's even quieter and it intakes less dust, I think. So yeah, and for the Noctua NFA9X14 fan on my VRM fans, those are 2200 RPM fans, and those have been working great for the VRM, because, well, I don't have a temperature sensor in there. I know that they haven't blown up, so I'm pretty sure the fan is working pretty well. Yeah, so those two tiny fans, the Noctua NFA9X14 fans, I got them while I was still in Indonesia before I moved here to the US for my studies, and I got them from Noctua directly, because I couldn't find any seller in Indonesia of those fans, so I had to hit up Jacob on Noctua, the marketing guy, and ask him for the NFA9X14 fans, two of them, and he did give me, and there we go, I managed to put it in. And I've actually only done the unboxing of it, so this is kind of the review of it. I don't really know what else to say about it, but they work really great. They're not even that loud at 2200 RPM. So I think that's a pretty good design of the fan, because most fans at 22,000 RPM plus are really noisy, like you can really hear it, but these fans you can't hear the motor. You can just barely hear wind noise, but once you close the side panel on my case, then you can't really hear it unless you go really close, because those fans are really quiet. Like Noctua really did a good job on those thin fans, and they still blow quite a decent amount of air from a small 92mm fan that's really thin, because I did try it in open air before I stick it in, and I did try, like, you know, finger, hand, air, dyno, so just kind of like have a feel of how much air it blows, and it blows a decent amount of air for what it is, and especially at just 2200 RPM for a small fan. Of course, it's not delta winds like my 92mm, 38mm thick delta fan at like 4000 RPM. That one is just ridiculous, but I don't need that, and I just need a thin fan that blows enough air. And those fans, since they're so quiet, I usually just max them out when the temperatures start increasing a little bit, then I just max them out, because there's no point in not doing that, because you can't hear it over the other larger Noctua fans in my case. So yeah, in my case, I think that it's I mean, Noctuas are expensive, so maybe it's not the best choice to spend on Noctuas on your system, or for my case in my system, because you can spend it on something else. But my system is basically, in my opinion, just the way I want it to be. I don't need any more. Well, of course I want more upgrades. I mean, who could even stop upgrading their PCs? I mean, like, as far as I know, everyone that got into PC that I know, like my friends, they eventually just keep upgrading their PC, so you can't say no to that. But what I'm saying is that my PC is where I want it to be, so I don't think I need to spend a lot of money more. So what I wanted last time was just Noctua fans, because they're the only manufacturers that has 120 and 140mm fan versions, which are in the same lineup, so IPPC, and also in the same high RPM, which is 3000 RPM, which is what I wanted. So the 140s are the fastest 140mm fans you can get, these Noctua fans, the IPPC NF A14, and the NF F12s was the fastest 12cm fans you can get for, you know, the consumer space, 3000 RPM, but right now it's been like surpassed by the NRMax. I think it was the NRMax Twister Storm fan. That's 3500 RPM, so I do kind of want to try that and maybe use it in my system, but I'm not too sure, because what I wanted was a matching pair of fans. So in this case, I got all Noctuas, and I don't know, I just really like that, having a matching pair of something. A matching pair of fans in my system just seems really cool. So yeah, it's all Noctuaized and everything. And yeah, it's quite expensive. I could have spent it on something else, but I really think that it's a worthwhile investment. And if you have a PC that you're kind of happy where it's at and you want the best possible cooling solution and noise and everything, then I would say Noctua fans are a good idea, because once you touch them and use them, you really realize how much of a high quality fan it is. It's not just placebo effect or like following the hype train, because you can feel like a cheap fan, like this OEM fan that I just did a video of, this YS Tech fan. This feels like higher quality than most cheap fans. In fact, this feels better than the SP120Ls that you get from H100Is and H80Is, but even these fans, you know, they don't stand a chance to Noctua. They don't feel as high quality. The motor doesn't spin as freely and smoothly, and the noise is different. The Noctuas, even though how loud they are, you really feel like what they tell you, you know, like they're more agreeable to the ear, because I think that the fan tonal noise is more spread out and it doesn't really peak at one single noise like most fans have, like a one tone of high-pitched noise that's really loud. Noctuas are more spread out because that's how they design it. So I think that, yeah, Noctuas perform great and they sound not too loud, or loud but okay. So I think if you want a good high quality fans, yeah, Noctua are pretty good. But then again, I haven't these are still the highest performing fans you can buy, well, for the 12cm one-off, because it's the fastest RPM wise. But then I haven't tried these fans and compared it to the Noctuas and also my other fans for review. So I think we'll see in the fan review roundup how these Noctuas fare. Although I'm gonna be only testing 12cm fans, the 14cm Noctuas, well, there's nothing that comes close to it yet. It's still the fastest 14cm fans you can get. So if you want the highest performance 14cm fans, you get the NF-A14 IPPC 3000. Those are the fastest, hands down. The airflow is just ridiculous. If I run it at maximum speed, I can feel the airflow from the back of my PC really hard. And if I close the extra vents that I don't need, because it creates so much internal positive pressure, it improves the temperature of my GPU and CPU, because those are exhaust radiators. So the positive case airflow improves temps because it basically acts like the front fan as a push fan and the fans on the radiators as a pull fan. So it's kind of like a push-pull setup. So yeah, those fans are really good. But the 12cm fans, I guess we'll see in my fan review roundup. But so far, I'm really happy with Noctua fans. So here's my Noctuaizing my PC review. Yeah, so that's my conclusion. I guess that's about it for this video. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video, and hopefully you don't get bored, because this video is just mostly me talking about my PC. Maybe if you're interested in it, then okay. And if you end up to the end of the video, thank you. But yeah, please like the video if you do, and please click subscribe to see more of my future videos, and especially my fan review roundup, which will be coming soon-ish, I think. Anyways, thanks for watching.